2. This is The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, live in Los Angeles, iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, FS1. Drew Brees and Eli Manning last hour. Le'Veon Bell of the Steelers. He's got to be a little jealous of New England. How do you, if you're a Pittsburgh Steeler, how are you not a little jealous of the Patriots? A tad jealous of what they've done?
I'd be jealous of everything.
A little jealous?
Are you going to ask him if he's
jealous?
No,
I'm going to ask him. I'm going to say, listen, you're a great player. And I'm not saying this is the kind of guy you are, but aren't you a little jealous? I mean, God, they got there again. It's their 8th Super Bowl. I mean, you're the only real path if you're Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, Mike Tomlin, Antonio Brown. You're the obstacle, and they just keep getting through it. And so it's great to have you and Christine Leahy, of course, joining me. Dak Prescott, Le'Veon Bell, Jason McIntyre stops by today. So I'm going to make my prediction. This is generally the time I do Blazing 5. I hit 60% of my picks this year against the spread. So as I talk about this game, I'm going to talk about it not only in terms of the game, but in the spread. The spread started 6.5. It is now down to 4.5. It should be noted, Vegas has made money on 25 of the 27 Super Bowls. Casinos have made money on 25 of 27. Why? Because this is a heavily bet football game. What does that mean? Let me give you an example. Let's say last night you had like a cruddy team, East Tennessee State, playing West Tennessee State in basketball. Who would bet that? Professional gamblers. But when you get big games, March Madness, Super Bowl, NBA Final, then the masses bet. So what you always look at is what percentage in March Madness, what percentage in the Super Bowl, where are the fans betting? Because Vegas wants to beat the fans. 70 to 75% of fans are on Philadelphia. 25 of 27 years. Vegas has beaten Joe Sixpack. For Vegas to win, New England's going to have to win. And they are. And they're going to cover the spread. And there'll be times in this game when it may not even look pretty. Philadelphia's going to hang around in the first half. That defensive line, like Atlanta's Rise Up and Saxonville and the Legion of Boom, it'll give New England troubles early. But New England's going to take a lead, either late first half or early third, and Nick Foles will play from behind. Let's look at a couple of facts. A month ago, if I told you Carson Wentz won't play, Hall of Fame left tackle for Philly won't play, top linebacker won't play, you'll face Tom Brady and Belichick in the Super Bowl. What do you think the line would have been then? 8, 10? But that win over Minnesota has elevated the sense of how good Philadelphia is. Philadelphia won a couple of playoff games at home against an Atlanta team that had played 4 of 5 games on the road and a Minnesota team that had come off their biggest win in a decade. Philadelphia has earned their way here absolutely. I think actually in week 7, 8, 9, if they had Wentz and if they had Jason Peters and if they had Jordan Hicks, I think they'd beat New England potentially. Nick Foles, backup left tackle, second best interior linebacker. Belichick versus Doug Peterson, Brady against Foles, experience against none. This is going to be New England, and it's going to be New England comfortably. Everybody today loves Nick Foles. Let's look at his last 5 starts, because we know Tom's last 5 starts, 4 of 5, he's been exceptional. In the one he wasn't, he still won and was pretty good and super efficient. In Nick Foles' last 5 starts, game 1 against the Giants, he was terrific. The following week against the terrible Oakland defense, he was awful. The following week against the bad Dallas defense, he was awful. He was then at home okay and efficient against Atlanta, not great, and then amazing against Minnesota. Tom Brady, again, has been amazing in 4 of his last 5 starts. No MVP quarterback, no Hall of Fame left tackle. I get experience. You get none. I get Brady. You get Foles. I get Belichick. You get Doug Peterson. Do not overvalue the Minnesota win. Let me show the graphic again. It's real simple. Since 2000, the last 5 times an NFC champion winner was in blowout fashion. The market overreacted, and they all lost. Isn't Philadelphia, Carolina an inconsistent quarterback and a team playing on great emotion, most of their good players on defense? Isn't that what Carolina was? Isn't this Atlanta beat up on Green Bay, rise up? Everybody was sure they had better players. Folks, we've seen this movie before. We've seen it multiple times. The NFC spits out a different champion seemingly every year. In fact, so does the NFC East. Just say it out loud. Look at history. Look at precedent. With Carson Wentz, with Jason Peters, with Jordan Hicks, this is a coin flip game. You've got none of them. Gronk is back. New England's healthy as they've been all year. They etched this into their schedule. This isn't a Super Bowl for them. It's a game. Philadelphia player guaranteeing a W, all wearing their GoPros, making videos, family and friends. 31-21, New England beats Philadelphia soundly on Sunday. Let's segue to this. Very funny moment yesterday for me. There was a story yesterday that came out that I don't give a ton of credibility to, but it came out and we reported it, not this network, the one I used to work at, that LeBron James would consider joining the Golden State Warriors if they could, do a sign and trade, get rid of Klay Thompson, which they'd have to do, Andre Iguodala, and then you have Steph and KD and Draymond and LeBron James. So Jason Whitlock and I host a show called Speak for Yourself, and yesterday this was one of our stories, and Whitlock was repulsed by the idea of this happening.
If he went to the Warriors, I would lose all respect for LeBron James. No way his name should be attached to this rumor. I'd rather have rumors about Sacramento than the Golden State Warriors. I would puke if this happened, and it would just be terrible.
Okay.
I agree.
So does everybody. And I just want to contextualize this. Next week, all you fans who love college football, National Letter of Intent Day. And you want your team to get all the good players. Sometimes in the case of Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, you have geographical and financial advantages. Are you greedy? The New York Yankees for years, not because they had the best weather or the best owner, they simply had the most money in a sport with no salary cap. It was celebrated by the nation's media when they add Teixeira and CC Sabathia. And the Hot Stove League was the Yankees' Microwave League. They got everybody they wanted quickly. Never forget that Golden State drafted Steph Curry. You could have, but your GM didn't like him too small. Never forget they drafted Klay Thompson. Your GM could have, but he doesn't like Pac-12 basketball. Your GM could have drafted Draymond Green. They didn't either. They also, Golden State, created a revolution in the league, a new way to play, and now everybody mimics it. Adding LeBron would only be their second free agent acquisition. In the 70s, you tell me you don't want to see it, but in the 70s, the NBA was dead. It was dead. Why? Because there was no dynasty. And it was a new winner. Washington Bullets, Seattle Sonics, Portland Trail Blazers, Philadelphia 76ers. Every year, parity, a new team won, and nobody watched. You keep telling me this Golden State team is boring. I looked it up this morning. NBA ratings are up. Golden State has been lucky. I mean, they really think Draymond Green would be this good? Or Klay Thompson? Or heck, even Steph. But you can't call them greedy. You can call them smart, and you can call them a little lucky. But this would be the greatest team ever if LeBron joined it. And don't tell me you wouldn't watch. And, frankly, there would be all sorts of drama, which to me as a sports fan is fascinating. It's amazing how people are repulsed at the idea of a team that has built this on brains and great drafting. And we're outraged The same fans who want Kentucky basketball to get all the good players and don't have a problem with it would be deeply bothered by this. Why does it bother us so much? Because my only guess is we don't like when people are pulling away from us. Financially, in sports, it bothers us. We should love the Patriots. It's smarter football, but there's so much resentment. Let's get Tom Brady to retire. What's the hurry? I'd rather have Blake Bortles retire. Andy Dalton, I'm tired of watching them. What if LeBron went to Golden State and Klay Thompson left, and it was Steph and KD and LeBron and Draymond? You would be watching history. In the 70s, the NBA had none. Different winner every year, and nobody watched. Good stuff. I guess my guy J-Mac has some crazy theory on something, and I'm going to let him speak coming up next. I'm going to allow him to speak. That sounded a little harsh, did it not?
On a crazy theory.
Yeah. By now, we've seen the big, flashy Valentine's Day displays. They're all over America. Displays at the malls and grocery stores, and it might feel a little early. It is not. Wednesday, February 14th, a little over a week away. 1-800-Flowers.com. One of their best flash sales ever. Right now, 60% off best-selling bouquets, gifts, and arrangements. 60% off. I've been reading their spots for 4 or 5 years. I don't ever remember a 60% off. They don't settle for anything less than being the Rose Authority. And as you know, they ship overnight, guaranteeing freshness. To get a bouquet, an arrangement, or a gift bag, 60% off. All you have to do, order today. Go to 1-800-Flowers.com, code HERD. That is 1-800-Flowers.com, code HE.
We get to strike? Saying, okay, strike it, strike.